It is Wednesday and you've caught us in a chatty mood. Okay. It took us 10 minutes to press the record button because we've just been talking on. We went from Lyle Lovett to Bakersfield to restaurants in Yuma and all of these different things. So we're in rare form tonight, right? So it is Wednesday, which is typically our Q&A. And we do have some questions, but we also just kind of thought we would chat on some topics that have come up that are just sort of like hanging around. And I don't know, I thought it'd be fun to throw them out and see sort of what our little family here thinks of these things. I want to start with one of them because I know that Leslie, our lovely Leslie from DaisyGirlEssentials, has to scoot out a bit early, and we've already sucked up 10 of her minutes in our chatty time. And I thought it'd be fun if there were more of us than the three. So here's my question to you guys. The shampoo, all right? The new shampoo. So we're getting new shampoo, but we don't quite know when, right? We're very excited about it. In fact, Susan, you'll have to go on a tangent about all the yummy stuff you got to try out, right? But here's my question. Do you think it's better to have known about this new product coming and we're still waiting, or do you think it's better for it to be like, here it is, and it'll be out in 2 weeks? Like what is, because there's different, like some people want to you know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on it? And by the way, this is opinions. You don't have to be all positive. Okay. So like, what are your thoughts? Because this happens. I mean, especially during COVID, let's be real. It hasn't all been perfect, but yeah. So Joan, you look like you already know your thoughts on the situation.
Yeah. And my thoughts are, I really dislike the long teaser period. Right? Like, when did we get the last living magazine that told us about the Midnight Forest body wash?
Yeah.
That I want Midnight Forest body wash. And after
every time I shower, I get a little pissed.
Yeah. You know, I think they said June. Hello. It's not out today.
Right. You know, and it's just because we are so excited to get it, right? But you're right.
Exactly. So it's like this bill, ooh, this is coming. And I know, you know, and I know that happened with the Citrus Bloom collection too, right? And I think people were really anticipating and hoping it would be there for Mother's Day, and it wasn't. And you're sort of like, when is it coming? And then to me, it's also, then I'm like, well, so do I place an order now or do I wait? Are they going to release it next week? Do I wait? Do I need, but I need this, and the orders have been kind of slow lately. So it's just sort of like, so I would rather just have it be like, this is coming in 2 days, or, you know, have that hard date that they're really ready to go, and say July 15th, this is, you know, 16th, this is dropping. We're ready. It's dropping. That's what's happening. I would prefer that.
Yeah, I think I'm in your boat. I can see another side though. Imagine, I know there are people who maybe this is, okay, let me throw this out there because it just hit me. Maybe some things kind of leak. And so it's kind of like, well, now we've got to acknowledge that this is in the works, but we're not ready to nail down the date yet. But because it's kind of been leaked, we kind of have to, I don't know, fess up to it, you know? I don't know if that plays a part in it. Part of me just thinks that they get so excited about the new products too, that they can't not.
Right. And they want us, and I get that they want us to be able to talk about them and be excited about them. But I think that you have to balance that with getting people excited about a product, but then it's not here, and it's not here, and it's not here. And I think that then that sort of can skew it a little bit negative in terms of how people are feeling about it, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I will also say, and I totally get this too, because this is the case for me as well, is that you've done your order, right? At the beginning, you did your order, you got your product of the month, and then on the 16th or on that last week of the month, they drop some huge thing that you really want. And then you're like, but I just spent, I don't know, can I do it? Right. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to figure out what's the best way, but I personally would prefer shorter, more definite lead times.
Yeah. Even if they had it in stock and they had to sit on it for a while because they had said it wouldn't be available till August, even though
Right.
darn it's ready, July 3rd. Just hold it and let it. I don't know. I get it's the anticipation. Like right now, we need shampoo, and I'm like, okay, I really love the old shampoo, and I'm a little nervous about not having the old shampoo or what we have as our current shampoo. But at the same time, I'm like, I know I'm going to order this shampoo and they're going to come out with the new shampoo. I'm going to be like, I know, which, okay, is that really a big deal? No,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I don't know why, but I'm with you. I like struggle.
Yeah, I'm getting somewhat low on mine, and I'm like, I'll just order another big bottle of this one, and then when that's gone, I'll get the new one.
Okay. It's just shampoo, right?
It's just shampoo. It's not Midnight Forest body wash.
So Leslie, in general, like these things where we like find out about them, and you're so right. The citrus bloom was so that way, right? So how does it work for you? Do you like to know so that you can maybe get the end, like there's an anticipation high, right?
Mhm.
Or like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's taken me quite a long time to kind of figure out how I'm going to place my orders. And so now I am resigned to, between the 1st and the 15th, I make my order so I can get my product of the month. That's a given. I have my LLV, my turmeric, my adaptive, all of that stuff. But then I have a reserve for stuff after the 15th, because as Joan mentioned, there's typically, oh my gosh, this super awesome product that's only going to be available for 48 hours. And I've spent all my money in the beginning of the month. And that used to make me so mad. And then I would have to do all of adaptive and balance and to chill out.
Yeah.
So, and then if between like the 16th and the 20th, nothing happens, and I'm like, well, then sometimes something happens on the 20th. So I usually order my second one around the 20th or the 21st.
Okay.
And then if nothing special happens, then I can go into one of the wellness kits, the sleep one or the respiratory one, and I can start that order. So there's always a second order, kind of reserved for the special, or can I get the third sleep kit?
Oh, I love that. You've got like a whole plan.
A little checkerboard. It's like, it's chess, not checkers, right?
Yeah.
It is. It really is chess.
It really is. It's a little bit like, wow, but it's true. That's so smart. I like that idea of the wellness kits, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like from the customer perspective, I don't know how much it bothers me either way. I just get so excited. Like, here's my fear. What if they never release the Midnight Forest body wash? Maybe, what if it was like an idea that they thought they could make come together, and now it's never going to happen? And now I feel like I've lost something.
Right? We had a spread in the magazine. So it's sort of like that wasn't like just an idea.
You can't unring that bell.
You can't, right? And that had to be planned, editing a magazine, I had that ready a while ago.
I can picture it now. We're going to be at convention, and all of a sudden the slide's going to come up, and they're going to be like, we know you've been waiting. You know what I mean? Because everybody will just be like, is it me?
Like, I made my own by now. What?
Right.
Why do I want this for?
Yeah.
I love it, Joan. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I forgot. You just made me lose my whole train of thought. I made my own. I don't need it anymore.
If they hold off until convention to release that body wash, they better hand deliver a little sample to each and every one of us at convention.
Oh, I know. That's what I was going to say.
Thanks for waiting.
It's almost like, I feel like, do they not know that page is in the magazine? Like, because I haven't heard them even mention it. Has anyone heard even a mention of it besides seeing it in the magazine? Not a word. So it's almost like there's a collective, like everyone's just holding their breath. It's like we were talking before we pressed record. We were talking about how sometimes not asking, you know what I mean? It's like, none of us even bring it up because for fear that they're going to say it's not coming. Right. So no one has asked, and it has not come up anywhere, like in any groups or anything. It's fascinating. Susan, what do you
right here? It comes up all the time.
It comes up here all the time because we want the Midnight Forest body wash.
Oh my goodness. I will say that I love surprises. Like I'm not somebody who doesn't like, I really like surprises.
Yeah.
And so normally, the shorter notice is just, it's something fun and great, and if it's something on my radar, fantastic, and if it's not, well, next time it probably will be, and that kind of thing. But I was really glad to have the heads up on the shampoo. I feel it took me a while, honestly, to completely switch to the shampoo. We have a lot of hair in our house, and I've actually had issues where hair is something, shampoo is something for me that I've had allergy issues with. And so it's a big deal for me to switch to, or try something new, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but for me, it was the conditioner. I just adored from the very beginning. And, having long hair most of my life, like conditioner it's just gotta be there. I can't not have conditioner. So when they started talking about a new shampoo, and that we got a little bit of a heads up because, I have 2 adult children. And so one of my adult children got a sample to try as here's the sample, give us some feedback, let us know what you think, kind of a thing. And it came, it was an email that came, and we had to respond to it and say, yeah, bring it on, which of course, he did. I made sure of that because I didn't know if I was going to get one, and I didn't. So I was really happy. But the hilarious part was when the sample came, he was like, that's mine. Like, it's going in my bathroom. I was like, wait a minute. The whole reason why we had to do this was so that I get to try the shampoo, right? So I did get to try it, but he did take his sample, but he really liked it. So that was great. And I think when you look at the ingredients in the new shampoo, there's some really interesting things in there I think will be really helpful for people in terms of scalp health. But I had to have like kind of a little bit of a mourning period because I love our shampoo. My entire family uses our shampoo. I love that I can buy the big giant bottle and it lasts for so long. I don't think about it anymore in terms of, is this one going to work? Am I going to like it? Is the conditioner going to be enough, but not too much? And, that kind of thing. It's just a given. Everybody uses the shampoo. And if their conditioner, using people in my family, then, that's the conditioner that they use. So to think about changing that, I like surprises, but I'm also very much a creature of habit. Like if it's not broken, I don't want to fix it. I just want my thing that I use and I want it to be the same forever. And so I had to really kind of wrap my brain around the times in the almost 4 years now that we've been in doTERRA, when things have changed. And I've really, like, my initial reaction is no, like the toothpaste. Yeah. When I saw the different colored bottle, I thought, oh no, they're changing. And like toothpaste is even worse for me than shampoo because I have to taste it. Right. So like to change my toothpaste, I have one brand that I like and that's what I use, and don't bring me another one. But I really, really like the new toothpaste. So I had to kind of go through this process of, okay, they're getting rid of my shampoo. And I shouldn't say getting rid of, they've improved our shampoo, right? Yeah. And that's the lesson, is that every time we get something new, it's because there's more knowledge, there's more research, and they're changing the formulation to better suit our needs. So it's guaranteed to be as good or better, right, than what we're currently using. I am really sad to see the packaging go because I actually really love the packaging. And I know the new colors are really in and pretty. I know the baby blues and all that kind of stuff. I really liked the old one.
I'm with you on the packaging.
My daughter is going to adore the new packaging, and so she'll be happy.
That is so interesting because I don't even think of the current. I only buy the big ones. We don't buy the.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
And I don't even think of it as really even being, I feel like the new ones are packaging. The old ones in the big ounces are kind of like,
it's a tub of shampoo with the
shampoo.
So what do you want? Get that pretty sort of like line drawing floral on the side.
And you can see the inside, right? So you can, what I like about it is also, and you can see how far down you are.
I do like that.
I like that, right? Because then I'm like, okay, I can watch it and say, all right, put it on the next LRP.
So smart. So
this is
true.
totally inconsequential for anybody else, but my things where my shampoos sit in my shower, like those bottles fit absolutely perfectly. And I had to like change the way my things went in my shower to accommodate those big giant bottles. And so now I don't know if the bottles are going to fit.
Oh my God.
But
this
I'm
really-
telling myself we need shampoo. I have gotten the report from my children this week that we are in need of a new bottle of shampoo. So I will order some. God willing, it is ready tomorrow, and we'll get it. And
I so hope that it comes in the big, what size is that? It's big.
yeah, it's big.
I don't know how many ounces it is, but it's wonderful.
I see a 500 ml bottle in the new one. Isn't that big? Like that's pretty big. That's half a liter, right?
That
I'm
sounds
looking at
big.
the old one.
I have to go in my shower. to look at
32
that one.
ounces. Okay, don't ask me to convert that. I
So
don't
if
know.
it's 32 ounces, that's the same as the big shampoo is now.
No. The 32 ounces is the new one. The other one I see only in milliliters.
What I'm looking at right now is the current existing one says 32
Exactly.
ounces.
Yeah.
That one's 32 ounces.
And so
Oh,
the
okay.
new one,
It is not as big. I'm looking at
It's
it now.
not.
It does have the ounces. It's
But-
16.9 ounces.
But that's, now here's the thing, I'm
That's
gonna
a-
throw this out there. You've never seen the large 32 ounce bottles in marketing. It's never in marketing. The small bottles are in the marketing, put out there for pretty. The big ones, you never see that out there. That's just on the website. You can just
yeah,
like
but
the
I'm
big
looking
Pink
on the
Blue.
website.
But
Yeah,
of the new
me too.
shampoo,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But
I've
here's the thing,
heard-
maybe
I've
it's
heard
coming later.
rumors. Yeah, I've heard rumors that they're maybe not initially, but that there will be a big
Right.
one.
Okay.
But gosh, if not, I will be bummed because I really prefer that I don't have to buy it as often. It's less packaging.
I love
Exactly.
that.
Now, do I like the pump on the conditioner? No, because I don't know what's up, but that dog always dies on me every single time. Every bathroom, every one. I don't, and only the conditioner, not the shampoo. I've even taken the shampoo one out because we always go through shampoo faster than conditioner, put it in the conditioner one. Week and a half later, that one's like, ugh, and I'm like, I don't know. But
What are you guys
hopefully-
doing to your conditioner over there?
yours doesn't break. Everyone, it's all over the
No.
internet. The
Yeah, see, I
conditioner
don't have a-
always breaks.
I
Always.
have the
I've
tube
never had one break.
conditioner because I use just a tiny bit of conditioner and it's just me
Yeah.
in the house. So I just have the tube of conditioner.
Well, good, because now you know. Don't be.
I have used gobs of conditioner and I've never had one break.
Ours,
Now, when you get down to the
doesn't
bottom, I have
break.
to flip it over and let it come down.
it doesn't break, but it just stops pumping. It's not like you push it and it's like
Oh.
clunked. It just, nothing
Right.
comes out anymore. And you're like, what's happening here? And it's like, there's all these like fix-its all over YouTube about how to
That's
deal with that pump.
hilarious.
And I will be happy to not have that. However, I really don't want to have to be buying that much shampoo. I mean,
Right.
like Susan, we might
Yeah.
not have Velazquez hair, but we do have 7 heads in this household. And we go through some serious amounts of shampoo and conditioner, more shampoo, but nonetheless, it's a cost issue.
Yeah.
To be purchasing the smaller bottles and here's the thing. When I was buying the smaller bottles before I made the realization that I could get the big bottles, only my bathroom had the doTERRA shampoo. It wasn't until, now granted, this was pretty early on in my doTERRA career, okay? But it wasn't until I realized I could get the big ones that I was like, oh, I'll get these because this is easier and I'll just do a set for each bathroom. Great. So yeah, but man, that will be a game changer. We just went totally off on, we went down like all the way shampoo road.
Okay, and I'm not done. Wait, we
Okay.
got more. I think they'll give us a big one eventually. But the big thing that you gotta look out for is the new leave-in conditioner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Really like it. And I can't use a lot of leave-in conditioners because I have a lot of hair, but it's very fine. And so too much product just weighs it down and I just look like I have no hair.
Yeah.
But this one is really nice and light. I think it's gonna be great for anybody who has naturally curly hair because
Nice.
it's really great at like non-frizzies, you know what I mean? It smells great and it's really, that's the one that I said to my son, you can have these things, but I'm taking that leave-in conditioner because
Nice.
I have a lot.
And I
more
love
hair.
that you, like, we have someone on our team who's actually used it. It's not like,
Yeah,
I've heard
that's
all this,
exciting.
and you have. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, if you're listening on podcast, you don't know, but if you're watching us, Susan has thick hair, but fine each hair. How do you say it? A lot of fine hair.
A lot of fine hair.
A lot of fine hair. It's very, you know, lovely. And so I would trust your advice on hair. So, okay, here's going to be an 80s girl question. Humectress, remember the leave-in conditioner Humectress. Is it lighter than that? Because that was always a little too heavy for my fine hair. I mean, I still used it because, you know, I was the 80s and
You
my
had to. It
mom
was
said
the
yes.
80s.
So
Yeah,
it
I
was
know.
like a big deal if I got, and I mean, I used less than a pea because I had to make it last like 8 months. But is
Right.
it in that same zone of, is it that creamy?
Honestly, I
What
couldn't.
is
I
it?
couldn't use that. It is very creamy.
Mhm.
I didn't like. I never used leave-in conditioner. The only one that I really liked was there was a Paul Mitchell product at one point, and I had an aunt, God rest her soul, who was a hairstylist, and so she would hook me up whenever we saw her. She'd take me to the beauty supply store and hook me up with some discount Paul Mitchell. So honestly, I didn't like the Humectress kind of.
Yeah. So you didn't use it. So you can't compare. 'Cause that's
Sorry.
the only
So no,
leave-in
I didn't
ever
use leave-ins.
remember.
I didn't use any leave-ins because they kind of made my hair attract, you know, dirt and look oily, even
wow.
though, you know, it kind of helps to control the frizzies. I was not a leave-in conditioner girl at all. So the fact that I like this and have used it and enjoyed it is a huge deal because I don't normally use them. I stay away from them.
And it's keeping the frizz down.
Yeah.
Keeping the hair sort of in control, nice shine.
Yeah, and really nice, like before, like if you blow dry a lot, which I normally do, really nice, you know, just kind of as a smoothing sort of agent and, you know, conditioning, you know, as a pre-blow drying kind of a
Leslie's
product.
all, ooh.
Yeah, I really like it for that. Or like today, it's so humid today, I'm just kind of drip drying. And so I kind of put it all in and before I threw my hair up because it just.
And you
feels
still
good.
have some. Wow. So it's
Well, you know
lasting
what? I've used it so judiciously. And
Yeah.
then it got down to the last skinny little bit and I threw a little water in it and figured it might be diluted, but it'll still work. So
does.
I'm
That's
doling it
awesome.
out a little tiny
Yeah,
bit.
because now you're going to be addicted to it and you're going to be like,
I didn't want to have to live without it.
where's my
Exactly.
new, where's my new, I need it. You're going to be like Joan and I waiting on that bath or that
I'm
body
exactly.
wash. We're like, where is it? Oh my gosh. So I think they made a good point. So if you're someone now, there's kind of a difference. And the shampoo is kind of a weird example for me to even start with, because it does kind of help people when we're transitioning from one version of a product to another version of a product, as opposed to announcing a new product or something that we've never had before, and then having it kind of be in the wind or whatever, you know what I mean, out in the world. And we're like, is it when? Is it coming? And then the thing becomes, people start asking us as though we know. And you know what?
Right.
We don't know. You know, we don't know.
Exactly.
We literally will find out when I mean, maybe within 12 hours earlier, you know, we might get the midnight email or the 11:30 email as opposed to the, you know, midnight email.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the only other thing is I always feel bad because I don't have an answer for people with things like that, you know. And Joan, you're right. Let's just make our own.
And so
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, I kind of love that about doTERRA though, that like, you know, it's not like we have a special track that we get things that everybody else can't get. We don't have a discount that nobody else has access to. Like anyone who is a doTERRA customer can get exactly, you know, what we get, which I think is awesome.
That is awesome.
I totally agree with you. And it really honestly relieves us of that pressure of either knowing and not being able to say something, or that it creates a bad culture. And honestly, even as much as people don't like to believe it, even diamonds and above don't know. The only things they know is if they went to like one of those retreats, but that stuff gets immediately released out to everyone. They don't know either, you know, unless they were working on the project, like Susan knows about the shampoo, you know what I mean? Because she was working on that project. And so it makes a supportive culture throughout. There's sort of not the knows and the not knows. And I like that. It relieves us. But I do feel bad because when they say that we're going to have something and people get excited and they're asking us, and I'm like, I don't know. And you know, normally in the past 4 years, I haven't really seen that until this last year.
Well,
which
that's
makes
a post-COVID world issue, right? I mean, I
Yes.
think that's, I can't remember a single time.
Never.
Do you?
Never.
In prior to COVID, that
Mm-mm.
anything like that happened since we've been in doTERRA. And I really think, you know, it's the same. And that's kind of a blanket, you know, it's everybody dealing with those issues of supply and delivery problems.
Yeah. Joan, you were going to say something?
So if we're sort of on the topic of the sort of new releases, the surprise versus et cetera, right? What do we know about Sunny Citrus? And, you know, I mean, I think I want it, but quite honestly, I don't want to buy a diffuser to get it. I already have a Dawn. I don't really want a Rome, but that's the only way to get it. And I don't know.
Same.
You have one.
I have one from, it was a freebie.
I was going to say, I think it came out before, like it's been around the block.
But I have
very similar. Okay. You know, my sunshine blend that
Yeah.
is made in a roller ball.
Yeah.
It really is very reminiscent of that. It's wonderful, but it's pure. It's no olive oil,
Right.
no fractionated coconut oil in there that I'm aware of.
But yours has spearmint and this one has peppermint, right?
Exactly. So that, but it has that little minty something. So that's the similarity, is you're getting just a lot of great citrus, and just, it's not peppermint forward though. It's almost like you breathe in and you smell citrus, and then you exhale and you can taste peppermint. Does that make sense? So I'm inhaling through my nose, right? And if I exhale through my mouth, there's peppermint on my breath type. So that's what you get. I know.
So is that something that you can put in your water? Is this an ingest?
It does not have supplemental facts on this one. And I'm not sure why, because I need to replace my glasses and I can't fully read. I don't know if.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Grapefruit.
Because it does have,
I have a little bit of coconut oil.
has coconut oil.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So it's very, very good. I mean, you know, look, if you need a diffuser, now's the time. This is how I look at it with things like this. If I need a diffuser, I'm going to get one to get this deal, because I also really love the bergamot mint. And so, and this is only a 5 mil. Is it a 15 mil that comes with the special?
Hang on.
I thought it was.
I thought it was too.
It's a 15 mil that comes with the diffuser.
That's really nice. This is like diffuse heaven, you know, but I mean, sometimes you have to,
well, but
as much as I want to get them all, I try to pick the ones that are really going to fit best into what my needs are at the time.
Yeah.
I have a couple full bergamot mints because my husband loves it.
Island mint.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you. I'm sorry. You're right. And that's the one he loves, is the island mint. I'm just totally saying it wrong. He loves it, loves it, loves it. In fact, that was, I think, at the last convention that we actually physically went to, Susan, remember, they had it out for him, for people to smell. And Manny was like, when that drops, like stock us up. Like, and so that means like max out the account on as many as we can get. And I did, because he does not say that often about things, but he was just like, I seriously love that. So we are set on that one. This one is delicious, but here's the thing.
Well,
I can give it as a gift.
Make it, right, in a sense, right? Because if they're telling me it's a blend of wild orange, grapefruit, and peppermint.
Yeah, is that what we have on here?
That's because I'm looking at the page for it online.
Okay.
Yeah. Grape oil, peppermint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, then you can make it. You're good. I mean, not to sound like, golly, maybe we shouldn't even release this episode. We sound like terrible.
No, here was my thinking. And
I would tell a customer that, you know,
right? Bill, because for me, right, I live in a 1,200 square foot house. I currently have 7 diffusers. Like, I don't need another diffuser, right? I'm like, if they had it separate,
make a choice.
I would totally be grabbing it, right? Or maybe if they had it with the Volo, I probably would.
Oh,
Because I
Pedal.
don't have a
not have it with
Volo.
the
And I
Volo.
would like a Volo, but I don't necessarily want to roam, right? I have 2 pilots. That takes care of me for any roaming around that I want to do with,
Yeah.
with a diffuser in hand.
Yeah.
And I have a Dawn, so.
You're good. Yeah. I mean, and that really is the same thing I would say to a customer is, you know, you don't, as much as we want to grab everything because it's there to grab, look at what you need and figure out what's going to work best for you. You know, if it were the holidays and you could gift one of the diffusers, and that could be a great
Well,
thing.
That's
Go ahead.
what I was thinking, is that
Yeah.
if you were in the market and you thought, you know, I'd really love to get this for so and so, but it's kind of a lot. You're just getting so much when they have these packages where you get an oil with the diffuser.
Yeah.
That, you
And that's
know,
how I got my
it's a great
Dawn.
idea for yeah, me too. That's how I got my Dawn
Yeah.
too. You know, it's a great idea to hang on to for a Christmas present or a special somebody's, you know, wedding gift, birthday present, you know,
Yeah.
whatever between now and then. So, you know, I completely agree. I think you have to be judicious and think about, you know, what makes sense for you, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it's all about is, you know,
Yeah.
what meets a need, not that everything
Just to
is
collect it, right?
for everybody, right? Yeah.
Right.
And yet for somebody else, that might be like the most awesome thing that came up this summer.
Right.
You know?
And because the Island Mint was in a BOGO, not like, you know, so I've got some Island Mint. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Island Mint we had like as Father's Day last year. And then again, it came out with BOGO.
Yeah.
So gosh knows, I probably have more of that than I even know I have. But because, you know, I jump on, you know, here's the thing. You don't miss a BOGO. You
Right.
don't miss a BOGO because that's kind of different. That's
Yeah.
like you get to stock up. That's so different. When these sort of end of the month specials pop up, if they fit what you need, grab them. If you can think of a friend or a family member, like Susan suggested, grab it. But otherwise, it's okay. I tell you, I think for the first 2 years, I never let a thing go by without grabbing it. But then I started to think it's going to be okay. You can let it go by. And now
Right.
it's much more like, it's okay. You know, I don't have a need for that in our life. I have some gift stuff already set aside. As much as I really love the Sunny Citrus and oh, it is delicious. I have a lot of the Island Mint. So we'll probably just let this one float on by in hopes, because tomorrow, guess what? At midnight
Because
tonight,
tomorrow, who
we're
knows
going to get a
what's
whole
coming,
new world
right?
of specials and we're all going to be going, "Wah!" You know,
right? There'll be
Right.
specials, there'll be,
Yeah.
and then later in the month, there'll be something. And yeah. So I think
I
I am going to pass on this one.
yeah.
I will say I'm really glad that with this one, they kind of left it like it's not like 24
End of the
hours.
month.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that they kind of left it open. So it's,
Yeah.
you know, it went live on a particular day and now it's just till it runs out, right? So like,
Which
you
is
could wait
nice.
till tomorrow if you wanted, if you wanted to throw it on your LRP to be able to get it in that monthly order, you know, you have the opportunity to do that, which is nice. And think
Yeah.
about it and
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah.
if it's right, you
Does
know.
it have a PV value on that special? Does anyone know? Do you have it pulled
It
up on your
does.
screen? 20?
Mhm. They
For the
both have a
20
40 PV on both.
Oh, 40. Okay. Yeah. So you're getting the oil PV,
Mhm.
Right.
which is nice. So, because you don't get a PV on the diffuser, but you do with the with the oil. So that is
Right.
nice. And that's the point value or the product value, if you will. So that is nice. I like that they do that way. So there are all these, like, I don't know. I love when doTERRA just throws out the great specials. I really get excited about BOGOs. Oh God, next month's July. Do you think?
Are we going to get one?
Do you think? We might
I'm
know. We might know by,
Pretty sure
You
we
feeling
had
pretty
one
confident?
last July.
we definitely had one last July. My telltale sign to throw out there is if the specials themselves that are announced tonight seem less than if it's back, because, you know, when we first started, like the specials have been nuts since COVID started,
Yeah.
right? And a little bit before that, they really started going to town on specials. But before that, the specials were the product of the month, you know, the 10% discount. And
Right.
that was that. And then there'd be like a highlighted something about, you know, something. And then every once in a while we would have a 200 PV and every once in a while there would be a BOGO. And that was it. There were none of these like random new
package deals.
products coming out, except for like, there was a Mother's Day, Father's Day, and that was it. Like now I feel like almost I'm like, it makes my head swim.
Sometimes it feels like it's almost too much.
I
I'll
agree.
put that out there. Sometimes I'm like, wait, well, now, no, I want that. Now I want this. And okay.
Well, but you don't want people to kind of, it's not burnout, but almost exhaust themselves in enthusiasm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. Cause I mean, it's like BOGOs. I mean, to tell you like how I just said, oh God, do you think we'll have them in July? Like, I'm like, it's like this sound of like, oh God, you know, darn well, you guys have seen me like the night before going, oh no, they're not going to. And then when they do, I'm just like, like, you know, like I feel like what's his name? Tom Cruise coming in my underwear, sliding across the floor. I'm so excited about the BOGOs because I just get so excited. And then it's a whole week of just constant, you know, adrenaline and excitement. Man, it's awesome, right? But it's a lot of adrenaline happening with the specials. And the problem I feel with it is that I do kind of see myself thinking like this current one with the diffuser and the 2 oils, kind of like there'll be another one. You know what I mean? Whereas that never was the case before. If something came, you grabbed it because that was so weird and so rare. So I hope that they kind of, not pull back on the specials, but and pull back on the specials.
You know, I would love to see another citrus sale. Like
That was fun.
right? I'd love to see another citrus sale because I would stock up and yeah.
Well, and it's something we use all the time.
Yeah, that would to me, that would be a fantastic special to have sort of here in the doldrums of summer. In July of having a citrus sale, I'd be like, oh yeah, because I need to stock up because I'm going through citrus. It's summertime. I'm using it up. Just, you know, I mean.
And then if they snuck in the sunny citrus in with that citrus.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be amazing. That would be so awesome because then we'd have a way to get it. Another way to get it, right? Yeah, I would love a good citrus sale. That sounds amazing. It's so summery. It's just so summery to have citrus right now, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So we just went on a whole, did anyone else have anything to add on that? That was our first 45 minutes on that one. But you know, I think that it's interesting because I do think that these are things that other people are like, well, what's going on? I mean, here's another one. We're just gonna round it out. Okay. This question has come up 3 times this week about the skincare. Okay. The wonderful skincare, right? Leslie. So typically the Virage and the essential skincare, I can never seem to get that name correct. I don't know why. I know it's really basic, but I always feel like I have it wrong. You can also buy them in sort of a bundle, a collection. The Virage, at least I know for a fact, has not been available in the bundle collection for quite some time because of sourcing issues here, there, and everywhere due to the current, you know, situation around the world. However, as of recently, all parts of the collection are available individually on the site, but not as that sort of super discounted collection, right? Does anyone know how much that discount was? Like,
it's big. It's considerable.
Yeah. Okay.
A big discount.
It is considerable. Okay. So this is what I've heard. First off, I've heard that it's coming back in July. So that's exciting. I've heard. All right. Now, who did I hear it from? Leslie Padilla on one of the groups, you know, the doTERRA groups, who is from doTERRA, was asked this question because a gal wrote in saying that, you know, she asked customer service and they said it was being discontinued and she was freaking out thinking Virage was being discontinued. No, it was a miscommunication on all parts. So it started this conversation about, well, where is it? What's going on? How come the collection isn't available? My understanding is that until the stock is really at a certain level, and this makes sense to me, they can't put it in a collection where people are, I can tell you, I do this myself. I don't actually use all the Virage set. I use like 3 of the 4, but I'll buy the set because it's a better deal, right? Because I like a deal. And so therefore I have a whole portion that's really kind of going unused. I give it at, when we have classes or parties or we do giveaways, I'll give it as a gift. I can't remember which one it is. It's the soap, the face soap one, the wash, which I like, but I like the other one better. So yada, yada. Right. So, I think that that's what they're trying to prevent, is that it's like they want everyone to get the stuff that they actually need and use, so that the whole things don't just sell out again. So obviously they must be low on one or two of the parts of that collection. And until they get, I'm sure they, in the business world, they have a threshold of, okay, once we get our stock to this, our inventory up to this level, then we can put it back into collection form. And so that's what we're waiting on. I actually appreciate this. So you guys tell me what you think. You tell me what you think first of that sort of situation or that need, or
I'm mixed. That explanation makes complete sense to me. It totally does make complete sense to me. But from a purely personal standpoint, right? I've been saving up and I've been wanting to get, and this is a different grouping, right? But the Yarrow Palm collection, right? Because that's also significant savings to get the three things together. I do like to use all three. And so I've been waiting for it to come back. And, basically, because for a long time it was the serum that was out. And now that's back and everything's there, but not the collection. You can't get them all together. So it makes sense, but from a personal standpoint, I'm like, on that one especially, I want all three. And it's sort of like, so do I get all three and use points for them separately and burn a lot of points, but I want it, and
yeah,
I don't know. So I have so I actually have all three of them queued up on my next LRP for tomorrow or Friday. And, I'll make my decision. I'll make the call on, do I take something off of there? Do I use points to buy them? Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people are fine. If you're using the whole collection, it really sucks. I mean, let's be real. It's a bummer until we can get it all back. So they must not have the stock of likely the serum, because that was the last one to come. They must have some, but not quite the level of inventory needed. Right. Because they know what their ins and outs are. You know what I mean? They know what their flow of, the product flow is. And so Leslie looked it up on that Virage. It's a $41 savings. So of course I'm going to go ahead and get the free of whatever, which I think is way less than $41. You know what I mean? To get my other stuff. Cause the one I love is that's the Virage, the serum, the Immortelle serum. It's heavenly, but it's really expensive if you don't buy it, in the collection. So, or whatever, anyway, it's harder when you really want the whole set.
Yeah. Right? So I think what I probably will end up doing is get, for the Yarrow Palm, to get the serum and the nutritive duo in the big sizes, and maybe not get the capsules, just because, if the serum is low and goes out again, and I've been waiting for a long time because I've been out of it for a long time, and I do really love the serum. I'm not one of the people that has any issues facially with it. I love that serum. And so I think I'm probably just at least going to get that in case it goes out again.
I was going to ask you, what are you using your serum on?
My face.
Because you are using it on your face. Okay.
And I've heard that not everybody, it doesn't work. Okay, I do not put it quite everywhere that Kari was just demonstrating. Those of you who are just listening have missed that. That's fine. We won't go into detail. But yeah, I've heard that some people have some issues with it facially, but for me, like, especially like on, I'll use it. It's one of the things that I use just on my face. But then I also really want to, like, I need to make a new bottle of my crease roller, right? And I would prefer to use that as the carrier as opposed to the FCO, right? Fractionated coconut, which I do tolerate fine as well, but why not use the serum? for that, if you know, and if you handle it well. And so that's my only caveat is for some people, I guess maybe it's a little too heavy or something, or there's something where it doesn't quite work on their face. But I personally, I think it's fantastic. I use it on my face. I use it on the backs of my hands, right? Like I get the Immortelle roller. I don't do the serum, but I'll put the Immortelle roller on, and then a squirt of the serum on the backs of my hands.
Ooh. We should explain that though, the difference between the two. With the Yarrow Palm. So if you have the serum, it just has a carrier oil that doesn't fall under that non-comedogenic, you know, type of carrier. So for some people, like I'm someone who's, despite going on 55, very prone to breakouts. And so, you know, I don't use the serum. And honestly, it's not because I've tried it and I broke out. I've just never tried it. I use the other one that's not as diluted.
The pure Yarrow Palm.
The
Right.
Nutritive Duo one.
Yeah,
the dropper.
Yeah, exactly. But there's no reason why you can't use it on your face if it works just fine for you, right? I mean, it's all
I've noticed
beautiful, pure ingredients that are amazing on skin. Completely amazing.
I think
I
it's
use the serum on my heels.
You use the serum on your heels?
On my heels.
Whoa.
It's really, really good. But I only have used it in the summer because I feel bad having pretty feet in the winter. Just kidding.
I was gonna say your feet are just like so happy feet.
I mean, like very, very little because
Yeah,
I mean,
it
they're
doesn't take much. Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
The serum is what healed my dad's eczema. Like seriously, it's
Wow.
that good for anybody listening.
It's
Wow.
so good. So if
So
you're
good.
curious, one comparison I've heard about people who might be, first off, it was the serum, you're supposed to use the duo on your face and the serum on your body. Okay. So it was never made, but most of us use it on our face, or a lot of us do. I love it on my face, but I've heard it's the same people who really kind of don't do well with coconut oil directly on the face, also don't do well with the serum on their face. So if you're one of those people and that's just how your pores work or how your skin works, that can kind of give you a heads up. But when you're buying it, typically people buy it for like, you know, the neck, the chest, you know, the hands. It is absolutely heavenly.
It's lovely.
For the entire body. And I use it, we use it. It never has had a lid put back on, you know, it's just constantly being used by me everywhere, and on the kids, even for like, you know, just like that. I don't know. It's just very healing, but it's super gentle, you know, it's just so gentle. And I love that idea of the Immortelle and just topped off with that serum. It is amazing, but it's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
Huge bottle. It's a huge bottle, the full size bottle. Now, when they had the travel sizes,
because that's all I've had was the travel size, right? Because that was available. I would just snag that up, and that's been gone now for a little while. And so I think I will at least get that. I'll probably at least get the 2 of those tomorrow, Friday.
You'll be very excited when you see the full size of the serum.
So big.
It's so big. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know doTERRA knew how to make a container that size. Like, you know, because we're so used to little tiny bottles, you know. She's a good size, and amazing. And the pump, it's just heavenly. I love that stuff. But yeah, you're right. It is one of those like waiting on these collections. It really is an inventory issue. It feels like a, you know, stick it to the man issue, like, or whatever, like how come you're making me pay all this when I used to be able to? I mean, that's the thing, is when you've had a deal and then it's gone.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. It's a little easier to swallow when one of the parts was missing, clearly. But so here's the reverse. They could wait until the inventory is of a certain level and bring it all back, but then we wouldn't even have the option to get the Yarrow Palm serum alone. And that is worse, right? It's just one of those like situations. So as much as, you know, you look at, and I'm totally with you, you know, okay, what else can I do? What can I switch to? Maybe I can just skip it for a while, which is I think what most people do, you know, I'll just skip it for a while. At the end of the day, for some people, and we probably in this conversation might not be able to think of a scenario in which having that Palm serum has now become sort of a critical part of their care. It's more important that it be in stock for them to purchase.
Yes.
Yeah, I can absolutely think of that. I mean, seriously, like, my dad's hands would just, the skin would literally just fall apart. His eczema was so bad for years. I mean, this has been going on for years, and his hands now look younger than mine do. So apparently I need to get more of the Eurocom serum, because it really, I mean, I could kick myself that at the time when it happened, I wasn't able to get pictures. Like, I didn't really realize,
Yeah.
And, when he came one day and I was just like, Dad, what have you been doing? Like, it was that, I mean, usually like with the band, he'd have Band-Aids on or some kind of something, because they were constantly falling apart. So yeah, it's a big deal to not have it when that's what's kind of holding you together. You know what I mean? But this is where I think our points are just so helpful, because we've talked about this, like my LLV strategy, getting the extra bottles of the vitamins, but you can't get the CRS the same way.
Yeah.
I use my points, and that kind of creates my own little special, you know what I mean? Because I can essentially get the same deal or even better if I just use my points for whatever the missing pieces, right?
Yes.
Excellent point. Excellent. Leslie, you had
I was going to ask, would it have the same wow effect on psoriasis, do you think? The serum?
I would absolutely try it.
I'm going to try that on
Absolutely.
somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And check the
Is
gut.
this somebody uses duct tape to take his skin off?
Well, this will be a definite improvement.
Right? A little bit more expensive, but
On that practice.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. Hey, New Mexico people, this is just how we all out here. I swear, I hear some of the weirdest stuff
my
out here,
goodness.
and I have, I am a self-proclaimed proud hillbilly from the day, and like, man, some of the stuff I hear that people do, woo, it just amazes me. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm go with the Europalm over the duct tape. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an improvement.
that'll be my homework tonight for this friend.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, there are some of those. I think that's why we live in the frustration land of the deal is not available. But I think when the founders, when they are together and talking about it, their number one goal is always to make sure that everything's available, because some people, and it might be a product to us that we just think is like a nice thing. For some people, it's a critical thing. And so that's why a lot of times things won't be removed from your LRP. That's why it's LRP only, because it's for you, it's part of your critical care, or critical is probably not the right word, but it's really important to you. When I said care, I was like, no, that's not right.
Your
but it's
personal
important.
care, right?
But it's not,
For your
but it's
personal
not
care.
personal
Your
care.
daily health care.
But
Yeah.
it's something like, if you have to go without it, you're going to be worse off, not just not looking so cute, or your heels are cracking, or, you got to do a little something different. For some people, it's really, really important.
Right.
And so they want to go ahead and get it out there for them, because they're not going to care what it costs. And they probably aren't even using the supplement and the other parts, so I don't know. It's so challenging, because I got to tell you, I mean, we, even as people who love doTERRA and are advocates and think it's the greatest thing that ever happened, we get frustrated too, and we get like, what's happening? I want this, or my friend needs this, or my mother needs that. But then when you reach out and ask, and you're like, okay, yeah, wow. Yeah, I see. You're right. That is the way you should do it. Of course. I feel like a heel now. But
not one of Leslie's skills, because they're very well cared for.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. So she's over there doing her heels, and her psoriasis friend's got duct tape. So I don't know. We might have to work on Leslie's advocate skills a little bit.
Like this. Don't touch them.
I love that. That is so
God.
funny. Duct tape. Oh, one time I had Gorilla Tape. This was an old robotics wound. Do you remember that, Susan? We were doing something in the booth, and you know, the Gorilla Tape, duct tape, if you will, the black Gorilla Tape. I'm used to duct tape. Come on, I've been around, you know, like I said, anyway. And we were doing something and I had to have all these different pieces. So I put one piece, just like, you know, hold it in like your teeth or whatever. And part of it touched my lower lip, and we're busy. And I just ripped it up, and it took, I mean, I was bleeding. It took off like all my lip skin. Like, I was like, what? My lip is on that piece of tape. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Awful. So the idea of just like on how the skin, and don't let them go to Gorilla. That's all I can say. And don't ever put Gorilla Tape in your mouth, because you're holding, you know, you need more hands. Don't ever do that. Okay, so maybe we should, well, we're at an hour today's class or today's workshop. Well, what do you guys have? Did you guys have something to talk on, or a point for us to discuss that is of this sort of like, we did go off the rails a little bit.
I have one thing to say, actually. How important it is to take your own advice as a wellness advocate, as a person who uses oils, as a person who takes care of everybody in the family. Take care of yourself. For example, I messed up my back. I don't know how, and it was I call it my psychotic nerve. And you know, it's still moving along, but just it really, really hurt. And the other day I was like, oh my God, I can't move. My mom was like, why don't you take an Epsom salt bath and maybe put some oils in it? Like, you know, she said it like a question mark, like, should I even offer this? And I'm like, are you, it's been what, 2 months that I've been dying. So I got Epsom salts, about a cup, 10 drops of copaiba, 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of eucalyptus. But then I got marjoram and basil, and I rubbed it on my back and then soaked, hand to God, 20 minutes. I was like, hold on, I can move. Like healed. There's still like a little bit of a glitch kind of.
Wow.
Take care of yourselves. 20 minutes took, and you know, I could have had 2 months of my life back. So watch out, Zumba class, here I come.
That is such a good, you know, and what's funny is you posted about that and you said 2 months. And I remember thinking, girl, you got those.
Uh-oh, she's breaking up. But yes, you have everything. But sometimes we forget what's right in front of us, right?
Yes.
It's so easy to just forget what's right in front of us.
And so
Just think to do
take
it for
your
ourselves.
own advice. Use your oils. We have the tools. Open your brains, Leslie.
Note to self.
I think it's hard though, because I know I don't do all the things that I get annoyed that like my family members don't do. Like, and I mean to do them. And you just get busy, or you're thinking, like you said, you're spending so much time thinking of everybody else.
And the funny thing is, you know, they'll come, oh, I have cramps, I have a headache, I have this. I'll offer the oils, I'll offer deep blue polyphenol, I'll offer this. They'll be like, no. And I tell them, this is me. So you're choosing to feel like this. Yeah. Well, what was I doing? I was choosing to feel like this.
Physician, heal thyself, right?
Yeah.
Well, another high five to your mom, you know.
Right?
Yes.
You know, us wellness advocates need wellness advocates, because it's too hard sometimes to remember, you know, and we were just talking about this too recently. I forget where it came up, but and Leslie, I actually think it was one of the things you were talking about, because you had changed, I know it was sleep or something. You had changed so much about your lifestyle, right? Because now your lifestyle is just totally different. Mm-hmm. And you were mentioning that the things that worked for sleep a year ago aren't working today. Right. And we're all like, well, you changed everything. And you're like, you're doing this, you're working out, you're eating different, you're doing all these different things. You've totally changed. You're not the person you were a year ago. True. But it's so hard to see that when you're the one in it. You start thinking, Well, it's not working anymore because you just don't see it that way. Because for you, it's been gradual, right?
And revisiting that, the thing that I've been using, Calmer. Calmer has been that, and that's all I'm using. And a little bit of vetiver on my wrists. And that's it. But before it was like this whole arsenal, you know, of roller balls and sprays and diffusers, and still do diffusers. But yeah, it is interesting. You just have to keep your ear to the ground on your own body.
Yeah. Yeah. And reach out. Because as soon as you reach, I think I'll, you know, because none of us here reach out about, now that I think about it, none of us here reach out about like our health stuff because we're always answering everybody else's.
Yeah.
So when we put it out there, then it's like, hey, you get an answer. It's like, oh, okay. Wow, yay. So anything else though? Does anyone have, I don't want to cut us off. We didn't even get to any real questions, but that's okay because they've all been answered on the
Great.
top. But
This
this
is
was
really
really, this was so fun. I mean, you know, we've never been so like, and what's going on with the, but you know, sometimes you just gotta let it off your chest because I don't think we're the only, you know, it's crazy to think that we're the only ones who are thinking this or asking these questions, right? Or wondering what's happening. It's all coming and we're going to be very excited when it arrives. And Joan and I will be beating people off with bats to get the mountain forest, or what is it? Midnight forest body wash. Yes, we could just make ourselves, but that's okay. I still want it. I hope it's cute in the package. I'm so excited about it. Oh, heaven. Anyway, thank you guys. So I never did actually introduce everyone who was here. So I'm going to do that now for the sake of making sure that everyone, if you want to reach out to someone that you know who and how. So Miss Leslie Radigan from DaisyGirlEssentials.
Hello, everybody. And good night.
And good night. Joan Sberro from BosqueOm Essentials.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, and our lovely Miss Susan Velazquez from EpiphanyEO.
Have a great Wednesday night.
Yes, this was so much fun. And we look forward to seeing or hearing or talking or anything with any of you guys in the coming days. So we'll see you Monday. What do we have? Oh, our pain classes on Monday. Always a good one, right? So many people.
Always.
So important. So we will see you guys next week. Otherwise, happy hump day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.